So she's gone again.
We gotta start.
You know what? Just start without me. Start without me. I'll stop my cam. Start without me.
Welcome to the stream, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
You know what? Just start without me.
People behind the scenes. This is not. We're not joking around. Welcome to Entertainment Star Wars. My name is Rob. I'm here. Today we have the man from down there, the Tool. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
You can call me the Tool.
Amber Heard's secret lover, other than Stevie J. Raw. What's going on, Stevie?
G'day, everybody. Welcome. Good to see everyone. I see so many awesome people already there in the chat. And yeah, really happy to be here with Rob and have a chat with these lovely people again.
Also with me is the none other than mother and daughter team of Shelbysoup and Spiritually Empowered Coaching, otherwise known as Les. How is everything? How are you girls?
I'm good. I'm excellent. Thank you so much for bringing us all together once again. It's always fun, always a blast, and just couldn't be happier to be here. So thank you so much. Hello to every single person in the chat. See so many beautiful faces and names and a few animals just in your pictures, not that you're actually animals, just in your profile pictures. Cannot wait to see what you guys have to say now.
Yeah, well, hey everyone, don't mind her down here. She had to go away for a second. She had a hemorrhoid flare up, so we were talking about it the other day, and sorry, if I get you demonetized, I'll compensate you.
It's done. It's done.
This stream's over already, everybody. Well, thank you for having me so much. Thank you so much for having me. I'm glad to be here. It's always a pleasure. It's always fun to be with my friend, not really, but Stevie. He's all right, and so is she. She's below average. He's good over here, but yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Well, it's great. This is not how I expected to kick her off, but this is great. So I just want to, if I could have the attention of everybody. From Shelby, I saw what you did. Thank you for the super chat. I got to see if I can pull it up. Just saw it. Here it is. There it is. Thank you so much, Shelby. That's very nice of you. I really appreciate it.
It was supposed to be more. I'll add more later. I don't know why it was just $1. I'll add more for you.
That's fine. Whatever. You didn't have to do that. Just having you here, I'm really happy. I just wanted to say that. It's always great to see you. The gang's here. I'm really happy. People in the chat. But you know, this has been a trying week. And on a serious note, so if I could just have everybody's attention, I just want to get this off my chest. Last week, we went to this very positive, very celebratory. We were in really great spirits, and it was a good mood. It was good atmosphere. We really have a good atmosphere. I'm not going to put it down, but I went on Twitter yesterday, went on YouTube yesterday, and I posted something. People were a little concerned, like, why are you typing this? Why did you write this? What is this about? Well, this has been a very, very disappointing week, a very emotional week, a very trying week. I went into it Sunday. I was watching Stevie and the girls on, and I was pretty excited. But I was, of course, very nervous. And when Stevie put the result and said what he said, it hit me. Like, at first I like, what did he just say? Nah, whatever. Let me really hear it again. When he said it this again, like the shock of the panel, the upset, the disappointment, the anger in his verdict, in his decision hit me hard. So I hurried to rush because I could not believe it myself. So any source I could hurry up and find to see what Stevie was talking about. And this upset me to no end, to the point that I was trying to get on Stevie's channel, but there was so much going on. He had people, it was absolute craziness. He had over 1,000 people in the stream, which was beautiful to see the support.
Yeah.
And I was really angry. I mean, I was like really, really angry. It put me in a horrifying mood. So I did a quick live of my own because I wanted to express my feelings. I wanted to read. And I couldn't understand how this was the verdict. It didn't make any sense to me how this can come down the tube. So with that, I had to say atrocious day. I couldn't concentrate. I should have took the day off. I should have spent it with you guys because you guys was consistently watching all your streams. It was good. It was good. It felt good to be with the crew and the chat and push through the day. And then here in the States, which I know, not everybody's from, we had another emotional week with this whole election thing and people on edge and nervous and fighting with each other. And still to this day, there's half the people happy, half the people angry, and there's a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And then Friday came, which made news even more angry, more aggravating, and more disappointing to hear that Johnny Depp was resigning from Fantastic Beasts 3.
Yeah.
I had to suck all this in over the weekend, and yesterday was just one of those days where I just didn't want to do a thing. Like, I just didn't, I wasn't in the mindset. And I read tweets beyond tweets beyond tweets. I've read comments. I've read everybody's, trying to keep up with everything from different channels, different, every fan I could see. And the mood was pretty much the same. Very somber, very upsetting. I got to get off. I can't take it. I don't want to, some people very supportive. Even Waldman, who I took and I forwarded it to it. He gave me some love and he was happy I put it up there. And he was like, this is not over. So as a victim of domestic violence, which some of us are here, being a male, I'm not sexist, I'm not anything that.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we got it.
Okay. It upset me tremendously because it scared me through this. Mm-hmm. And with a decision coming down the pipe such as this means what? That men only can be abusers, that we can't be victims because we're bigger or we're better. Which is totally not true. I've seen comment after comment. I've seen tweets. I've seen from people, from men and women who have been abused. And they say the same thing. You're abused. You get bruises that don't go away. Not only physically, but mentally. They just don't go away. The victim doesn't come after the abuser. It's the abuser who comes after the victim. In this case, it is so disturbingly obvious, overwhelming evidence from recordings to witness statements to witnesses, ex-girlfriends, ex-wives who say the same thing over and over and over again. The woman had no mark. Johnny wasn't violent. Johnny never had a history of violence. And who did the judge pick? He looks down and says, I don't care about all the evidence. I don't care about all this that you're putting in front of me. Out of the 14 incidents, 12 incidents, Johnny Depp used Amber Heard. Why? Because of what Amber said in the recording. Look at me, look at my size, and look at how you are. Who is the judge going to believe? Me. Unfortunately, the judge did something that you shouldn't do. Don't judge a book by its cover. Instead of taking all the evidence, instead of taking the witness statements, instead of taking the recordings, instead of taking everything that was presented in front of him, as a judge, this is what you're supposed to do. I work for judges, many different judges, and I get the same thing. Rob, let me tell you how it is. I'm the judge. My job is to hear what the plaintiff has to say, to hear what the defendant has to say, to take in all the evidence and use logic, use the law, and use common sense to make a determination and decide, because in between what the plaintiff says and what the defendant says, there's the truth. The judge in this ruling did not do that. The judge did not consider the evidence presented by Johnny Depp's team, by witnesses, by ex-girlfriends, by his ex-wife, which is overwhelming that this man would run from Miss Heard at any time that violence came up. Anytime she got violent or out of control, Johnny left. And in the recording, you should hear her frustration, her anger that he kept leaving.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, plain and simple, I left you because I didn't want to be the man that pops the wife. I didn't want to be the guy who gets violent. Fighting violence with violence is not the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Physically hit me. What did you want me to do when I was physically abused?
Mm-hmm.
This hit me really hard. This whole week has been trying emotionally, physically, mentally. I did not take it out on anyone. I did not go to work and take it on coworkers. I did not take it out on a YouTuber. I did not take it out on somebody who tweets. If I don't agree, I simply just move forward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't attack the person. The problem with social media is people attack other people because of different views, and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all I can say is this. I saw people saying, I can't handle this. I'm going away for a while. And that's understandable. You can be however you want. But I will say this. Johnny said on Friday, this is not over. We're going to appeal this. We're going to fight. And we're going to go to Virginia, heads up high.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to get my name cleared if it's the last thing I do.
Yep.
What do we have to do? We have to show them that we got his back. We have to show them for not only for domestic violence victims, who the abusers seem to always get away because they're the victims when they don't have the bruises on their body. They're the ones mentally who have to live with it because they're the ones who caused it.
Mm-hmm.
What we have to do is 600,000 who has signed that petition. Think about that. 600,000 people. That's a start.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing we have to do is when her brother sticks by the abuser, Amber Heard, don't open your wallet. Don't see the movie. I don't care if it's streaming or in the theater. And let me explain. I think it works, but I'm going to tell you. As you see, my name on the bottom says entertainment and Star Wars. I'm a big Star Wars fan and have been for 40 years. When Disney bought the company, I was very excited because we loved the franchise. To make a long story short, they put out a movie that divided the fandom. And you know what we did? We didn't open our wallet. We didn't go see the movie. And when the customers don't spend the money on a company or franchise, they get the message loud and they get it clear, and it scared them. So I'm suggesting experience. Don't hide. Don't go into a corner. Don't sit there and say it's over. It's not over. We got to fight. We got to fight for what's right. We got to fight for our rights. We got to fight for Johnny. We can't give up. We got to make sure that he knows we got his back. Go on his Instagram, leave messages. Even if he doesn't respond, let him know we got him. Let him know this is not over. Let him know we support him. Sign that petition and don't open your wallet for the movie. This is how we fight back. We don't have to tag people. We don't have to go on their Twitters. We don't have to go on their YouTube. We don't have to subscribe from people. We have to stick together. We have to support one another. And we have to be there for each other. And we have to support justice for Johnny Depp.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I had to say. I will shut my mouth as I want to hear what the panel and the chat has to say. And I thank you for your time.
I think, well, for me, mate, that was just really well said. And I think you encapsulated the feelings of so many, just, so many people, but people who feel the same as you, who've gone through the same or similar things to you, and, feel that this whole verdict was just a complete, deflation. It was like we were pumped up before it because we'd seen all the evidence and we knew, that there was just so much in Johnny's favor as far as the evidence went, that how could this go any other way? And so when that verdict came, it was just it was just so deflating. It was like having that balloon of hope popped, and everybody was just reeling. So, and look, like I said, I'm not a survivor of domestic violence, so I don't have that experience, but I certainly empathize a whole lot with people like yourself and others out there who have gone through something so horrible. And then to see this, it's just another kick in the guts. And, it's really, the really disappointing part is that, what you said there about victims like you being completely dismissed. So to dismiss all of that evidence that Johnny had, all of those witnesses who spoke on his behalf, and say that they're not credible, well, by virtue, that's saying that anybody else who believes this as well is not worth it and is basically not valued. So that to me is something that really, really hit home, in what you were just saying then, is all of those people just feel disregarded and discarded, and all of the feelings, thoughts, and pain that everyone has gone through has been discarded as well by this judge, by this verdict, and now by Warner Brothers as well. So I'm just disgusted by all of it. I really, I'm just disgusted by all of it. And I couldn't agree more with what you said about supporting Johnny and, getting the justice that he deserves. There are so many ways we can support, and we should try and do all of them if we can. But yeah, I couldn't agree with you more, mate, and very, very well said.
Last, Shelby.
Yeah, Robert.
Oh, both of you nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. And sorry, Stevie, what you said, like, we just feel so pushed aside because we aren't believed anyways. Like, we just aren't. And then we have this judge saying, well, because we don't believe you. Like, we like everything that you have, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you've gone overboard and gotten all this evidence. And it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Like, if you've had, like, even people with addictions, my heart is just reeling for, because what judge said was that if you've ever had an addiction in the past, or if you're dealing with it now, or if you will deal with it in the future, that actually will be a mark against you. It will mean you're a bad person and that we can't trust you. And that's completely not the name of the game. And it's telling women to just go ahead, do whatever you need to do. We're going to believe you. And it doesn't matter, because we're just going to pick and choose the evidence that you want to use. And even though the other person has enough evidence to say that, no, this didn't happen, we'll make it work in your favor. Don't worry, love, we got you. It's just a horrible message all around. And especially, and for Kate James as well, that I can't imagine the amount of therapy she's going to need after being told that what she opened her heart to the world and said, this happened to me. And the judge is like, no, it didn't. You're just bitter. Like, the amount of secondhand damage and abuse that has happened to millions of people is just, it's monumental at this point. Like, and it just keeps happening. It just keeps going. And now Johnny's got to step down. He can't even do this. And this was the thing that we're like, yeah, you know what? Screw you, because he's still working, and now he's not. So, but you know what? This is kind of a good thing, because now we can not spend our money on this movie. We can take that money and do better things with it, like the charity, or support in other ways that you find are appropriate. This was supposed to be a case of, this was supposed to be a career case for everybody, and all it did was really just a hell of a lot more damage than I even thought possible. It's been such a horrible week. And yesterday, I told you guys that I just took the day, and I was just telling Stevie earlier, like, I planted myself in front of the TV and I said, I live here today. Like, I didn't do anything. I barely touched my phone. I talked to Shelby for a little bit, and that was about it. And I woke up today feeling a little bit better, but then I ended up I finally got around to watching Lost Beyond Pluto's video, and it kind of got me riled up again. And then I started going through, finishing up for my own video, and that got me riled up again. It's almost like I feel okay. Like I take the step away, I feel a little bit better, but as soon as I go to focus on it again, my anger gets going. And of course I don't want that to spew onto other people. So, that's another reason why I've decided just to keep to myself, because the energy alone is not healthy to be projecting all of that onto all of those people. But it's too much. It's way too much for people to handle. And for every single person that is reeling from this, I am so sorry that this judge has done this to not only Johnny, but to all of his witnesses, to all of the people within his camp that they were just dismissed because they were loyal followers and afraid of him and yes men. That's really, really demeaning. That's a really demeaning thing to say to a bunch of men. You're just a bunch of yes men afraid of this one man. And you did actually allow him to do this to his wife. So you're no better than the guy who did it. Like, it's like it just keeps going on. And I don't know how this judge sleeps at night. I don't know how he was proud of that. Like, this is probably going to be his last big case, and he's proud of this dumpster fire of a verdict that is very clearly cherry picked in favor of Amber from day one. Very clearly.
I agree.
Sorry.
It's fine. Shelby?
Yeah, well, thank you for talking, but all of you, because I don't know what to say other than, like, I agree. Like, you've literally said everything that I could have possibly said. And I actually, yeah, I just don't know what to say, because I honestly, like, realize, after being on here that I still feel pretty, terrible about the whole thing. Like, I don't know, like, I didn't expect to get on here, my brain to still be going through that whole thing. That's why I'm kind of silent here, because, I'm not okay. But no, yeah, exactly. And you know what the most difficult thing is, I mean, everything that you guys have said, again, like, I mean, you all said it so well, but it's exactly that it shows that you can basically get away with what you want, or that women can get away with what they want to get away with, like Les was just saying. And actually, so I had a friend of mine who was married to someone very similar to Amber. And they had they have kids. And she was your typical, I'm not trying to diagnose people, but very textbook narcissist, in my opinion. That's how I see it. And she basically ruined his life and did a lot of the stuff that Amber did to Johnny, like tried to get as much money as she could from him and stuff like that. Basically turned his own kids against him. And then, like, 2 years ago, he died from a terminal illness. So she basically ruined his life, and then he didn't get to live his life. So that's the hardest thing, is that, people get away with this stuff, and then stuff like this happens, So that right there is just such an unfortunate thing, because he was married to somebody exactly like Amber Heard, and she got away with it, and she still to this day is getting away with being a really horrible person. And that's another reason why this whole thing bothers me a lot, is because I've experienced a lot of this. Certain things that I probably won't mention just out of personal reasons, but that tie me to this whole thing, and it's just not okay what happened, and we're not going to be quick.
I mean, Shelby, what you just said is pretty powerful to that this guy now passed on and can't even defend himself. So she can go on, she can belittle him, she can say whatever she wants about him, and there's nothing that can be said. So this guy's, again, a man whose reputation has been tarnished. And it's hard.
But luckily he sorry, Les, were you gonna say something?
No, I just want to add something on, but when your guys are done.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, like, I mean, most people turned against her, so that's a good thing. Most people were actually on his side, so that's a really good thing. Like, none of us talked to her at all. Like, we've made it clear that we want nothing to do with her. But yeah, exactly what you were saying. It's like he didn't get to live to see the day that he would stop having to basically owe her all of this shit because she thought it was her right, when she did terrible things, cheated, all that kind of stuff.
That's horrible. I just want to, by the way, I don't think I didn't see your super chat when I was speaking before, and I just want to, I appreciate you didn't have to do that, but
You're welcome.
And sending love to you, Les. There's a lot of hearts in here, and they're saying, a lot of people like hug. Yeah, here you go. Hugs to Les, Moonshade says. So
Hug
people,
back.
And I just want to thank Mary Scott for the chat. She says, hi, everyone. I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, better late than never. That's what I always say. Better late than never. At least you stopped by, and we always appreciate and we're glad you're
Mary's
here.
gone.
And, thank you so much, Mary. That's very, very nice. And, people, I think Sean B asked, I lost it. Sean B asked, and I'm sure Stevie can help me with this. Now, in Virginia, it's going to be a jury trial. Is that correct, Stevie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
Sorry, I didn't mean to answer for you.
that's great.
That's all right. I thought my voice changed. There for a second. I changed to
Everybody
being
has not had
an
any
American
ideas.
female.
So I just want to say, with the jury trial, Sean B said, does he think that the jury will hear about this? How could you not hear about this? I mean, I'm sure that the jury is gonna do a little research. I mean, they'll come in there, and of course they want them to be open-minded and heard whatever this, whatever that, get that out of your head. But in reality, you're a human being, so it's very hard as a juror with a case as big as this is to not dive into it. If I was on the jury, I'll be honest with you. Okay, I'll keep an open mind, but I would check out whatever I could, articles, YouTube, whatever it was, whatever I could find. I want to do research, so going in, I have an idea what's been happening, So, the jurors can come in and say, oh, okay, don't worry about it. We'll keep an open mind, blah, blah, blah. But they're human beings. You don't forget, you're gonna be curious. You're on a big trial like Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. This is huge. This is huge.
I have a question. How is a jury selected? That's what I'm want to know. Do you know how is a jury? I mean, I know there's jury duty, so I assume it's at random in the area.
Right. What they usually do is, like me, okay, let's say me. They'll send me a card in the mail. They'll tell me I have to report on this day and that day, whatever. Or they'll tell me over the phone, check the phone. When we call your number, you have to come and make an appearance. Okay. So, I have to go in and I'll sit and wait until they call me. And they'll pick a bunch of us, maybe 10 of us, 12, depending on the size of their jury. They'll usually double the amount. And we'll sit in a room. They'll explain what the case is about. And the first thing is they'll want to see if anybody's have any prejudice. If it's, let's say, a police officer is involved, something like that, and maybe we've had an incident or we have a criminal history or something. They don't want to pick people who are going to lean towards one side before the case already starts. So they're going to try to get the most important people that they can. So what'll happen is they'll ask a bunch of questions. They'll see how they answer. And then they'll talk to the judge and say, okay, I picked jurors number 1, 5, 10, 12, whatever. And the defense will say, I picked jurors number blah, 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 blah. And they'll come to an agreement eventually and say, okay, we're going to pick these juries and we're going to have these alternate jurors. And that's what they do. They eliminate other people who they feel just based on the answers they got, they didn't like what they heard.
Right.
So then they'll finally have their jury. They'll have alternate jurors just in case something happens to that juror, that they get sick or they can't make it or whatever the case may be. So they'll have an alternate juror who's there, who also is listening to the case, but they don't make the official decision unless they're put in. And that's usually how they do it.
What worries me, so thank you for that explanation. I'm sure that was really helpful for everybody, especially people in the comments. Everybody here. So what concerns me though is I guess we're kind of all holding out hope that the jury is going to be, more trustworthy. But worries me is it seems like it would still be very easy for them to be bribed, if that makes sense. I don't know. It almost seems like if they want to get the right people to do what they need to be done, then they can make it happen. But I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, we are in the U.S., so it's different than the UK automatically. But I still have that bit of concern in my mind. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still, basically, long story short, I'm still worried. I don't know what to expect after all of this. I can't just hold out hope,
Well,
what?
That's Stevie.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, what concerns me more in the Virginia trial is not actually the jury. For me personally, it's the judge, because, and when I say that, it's not because the judge makes the final decision, makes the final verdict. It's the decisions that he makes along the way. So when you think about what the judge is doing, so we've seen all of the motions that have been brought to the judge, right? So we saw, I went through Ben Chew's the other day where he was talking about, we want all these documents, we want all this evidence, we want all of this in discovery, right? Yeah. So the judge, that's a motion from Ben Chew to the judge to say, we want you to enforce this through the court to make and produce all those documents. If the judge decides not to enforce that court order and says, no, she doesn't have to provide all that information, that's a huge hit to Johnny's case. If he decides, obviously, the other way and says, yes, she does have to do it, it's a huge win for his case. But that's where I see the judge being crucial to the case in Virginia, because he's making the decisions on all of those motions to compel on both sides. So whether it be, and Johnny's handing it all over anyway. So there's no big deal with Johnny. But in terms of Amber and what she's providing, the judge is crucial to make sure that she does it and she actually gives all the info over.
Right. I have a question. So you just made a really good point that Johnny has handed over so much. He signed over his HIPAA waiver. He's given names of who he slept with. Like, that's anybody's business. It's nobody's business. Like, that thing really irked me. But she wants everything that he's ever done in his 57 years. But she's the defendant. So how is she able to ask for all of this? And then when he is like, okay, well, fair is fair. Me too. I want to know, A, who's paying for this? I want to see all your text messages. I want to know who you slept with. I'm just going to return the favor and give it all to you. And now she's saying no. Can she really do that? And can the judge say, oh, it's okay, honey, you don't have to. You don't have to expose yourself in that way. You've already been through too much. But meanwhile, it's his case and he's the one that's having to hand over his entire life story, which he worked very hard for the last 40 years to keep under the radar. Like, he's worked very hard to keep himself very private. So him opening himself up like this is very uncomfortable for him. I too am a very private person, and just watching him do it is giving me secondhand uncomfortable feelings and just nervous feelings and just feeling very exposed for him. So can the judge really say, no, she doesn't have to do it when she's the defendant and he's already given her when she asked for it? Can that even happen at this point? I don't even know.
That's a good point. Yeah. So you were basically saying, like, if he's willingly going and offering this information up, you think that maybe the judge would hopefully be like, okay, well, she has to provide it as well.
Yeah, like if he turns around and says, don't worry, sweetheart, you don't need to do it.
Exactly.
It's because, Johnny didn't have to do it either. What does him sleeping with how many people make any difference to the case? She's just a nosy little what's it.
And it's distraction again. It's direct distraction and diversion. And Ben Chew said it really well in that document. He said that, her history of her partners is absolutely relevant to the case because it shows a pattern of violence towards her previous partners. And that's what this case is all about. It's violence. So it's absolutely 100% relevant that they get all that information. But the other interesting part as well of what they asked for was for all of those communications. And we mentioned it just before, but the communications between the Sun and Amber Heard and all of those parties involved around that time is something that he asked for. And so now what we're seeing with the Sun being connected to the judge and Dan Wooten being connected to the judge's son and all of that stuff coming out, it says to me that maybe they know a whole lot more than what we do, which is obvious, but a whole lot more than what we do in the background. And they knew it a longer time ago about all of these connections because what Ben Chew specifically asked for with all of that stuff included communications between Amber Heard and the Sun anytime they talked about Johnny Depp. So it'd be very, very interesting to get all of that information.
Yeah. Now, can she? No, I remember with for whatever reason, whenever I think of Amber and her text messages, I think of the Chris Wass case and his girlfriend Googling, if I delete my text messages, are they gone forever? That keeps going in my head because she deleted some text messages between her and Chris Watts, and And that was a big deal. So I keep wondering, has she deleted some, but they're still going to be able to retrieve a lot of it? Like, will her data dump be a true data dump, or will it be a data dump that she has crafted, we shall say, because she's crafted her entire narrative. So did she have two numbers? Did she have two phones? Did she have a phone in Muskie's name, maybe in an employee way? Is when I had my big girl job at my company, we all got phones, but it was under the company name, but it was my phone. So if anyone was to ever track that phone, it would go back to the company, and then they would have to go to the company to see who it was assigned to. Could she have just had a Muskie related SpaceX, Tesla account for a phone? Like there's just so many different options that she could have had communications with people under the radar and no one could ever find out.
You're right.
Like,
you're right.
Yeah, it's very possible.
No, you had it. That's a really great point. I wanted to ask, did you guys see this thing that we were tagged in? If I could, I might read it to.
I haven't really been on Twitter. Oh yes,
Yeah,
I saw that. Yes, I saw. I
Should
put
I
it in my
read it
bookmarks
for the-
immediately.
for the stream?
Yep.
So, I mean, yeah. So I was tagged in this, I think, earlier or yesterday. So it basically shows the connections that are going on here with this case. So it says, Nickel wrote a book with Jeffrey Robertson and was employed by his firm Doughty Street when appointed. Jeffrey Robertson is Jen Robinson, Amber Heard's counsel's mentor and employer. Jen Robinson brought Amber Heard to a private dinner during the trial. Attendees Baroness Helena Kennedy, hostess Kathy Lett, and then Kennedy was also with Doughty. Kathy Lett is Jeffrey's ex-wife, personal friend of Jen and mutuals. Camilla Palmer, Nichols' wife, and then multiple news reports placed this team of women working with and supporting Amber for years, from UN functions to published support during the trial. So, I mean, that's just another thing that shows that this is ridiculous.
Whoa. Okay, I have to get some super chats.
Yeah, go ahead.
Donald's with a Donald's unbelievable.
Thank you, Donald.
Thank you, Donald.
Really,
So
supporter
nice.
Shelby, Les, Stephen, Rob, and JD, of course. Donald, it's really nice of you, man. I don't know what to say. You're just incredible, dude. I mean, really, seriously. It'll be great one day to have Donald in the stream. I would love.
It would be. I'd love to.
have
Yeah, Donald, what are you
and
up to?
I think it'd be great one day to have him on the stream. If he's willing to do it, he doesn't. If you don't want to, you could just do this. You know, they're just fine. So it'd be great one day if I can get Donald in the show. I'd love to have him here.
Absolutely.
Ann says, much love to Rob, Stevie, Shelby, and Les. Keep up your great work, guys.
Thank you.
Mary Scott again with another super chat. She says, as defendant, isn't the burden of proof on her to prove that? Wait, hold on. As defendant, isn't the burden of proof? Right. Okay. That's the answer, right. So basically, she's saying that Johnny, it's up. Yeah, it's true. He has to. He's doing. So he's the one who has all the burden of proof. He has to prove that what he's saying is true. But I don't know how, with all this overwhelming, insurmountable amount of evidence, the judge can completely ignore this. This is not what the judge does. Okay, when I'm at a trial, because I'm there at so many of them, you know, the judge is always asking both sides. I need this from you. I need this from your side. If you guys are going to argue about this, that's fine. We'll set an adjournment date, and I want this from your side on this date. I want this from your side on this date. And this is what the judge asks. The judge doesn't say, okay, what'd you say? Okay, I believe you, end the trial. That's not how it works. They need proof from both sides. Sometimes the plaintiff is full of crap. It happens. I've seen it, you know. It works both ways, you know. I mean, it could be. Go ahead, Stevie.
I was just going to say, so like as far as in this Virginia trial with the burden of proof, so Johnny's the one making the claim here. He's the one making the claim, but the claim is actions that she took. So, she has to be the one who takes the next step. So he's saying, I make this claim. towards you, and then it's up to her. Then she could either say nothing. She could say yes, okay, I did it, or no, I didn't. But if she wants to say that she didn't do all of those things, then she has to prove that she didn't do it now. She has to prove to a certain standard that she didn't do all of those things that he accused her of. Otherwise, his accusation and his claim will just stand because he's the one making it. So he's saying all of these things happened. And so unless she defends that, she's done. But obviously she is defending it. And I think part of the reason for and I might be wrong because I'm not a lawyer, absolutely not a lawyer. But the reason why she could be getting away with asking for a whole lot of stuff from Johnny is because she's put in a countersuit. So her counterclaim may, and someone who's a legal eagle might be able to tell us or confirm it, but she may then have legal grounds to be able to ask for all of that because she's countersuing. I don't know if that's true or not, but to me, just following it through, like if she wasn't counterclaiming or did countersuing, she may not have any legal right to do that. But because she's because she is actually got her own lawsuit now against him, which is the counterclaim, which is freaking ridiculous, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That just might give her the legal grounds, though.
When did we get that 100 mil? Like, when did she file that? Could she have filed that when she found out for sure that this was all going to go in her direction in the UK? Because I remember it was during during that time that we were on. I say we were on the stand like we were on the stand, but when we were covering what was going on in the stand is what I actually want to say. I honestly feel like we all went to court. And I really feel like we all just had a crash course in the legal system. But
hey, we can find a way. We can find a way to get in that courtroom.
Oh yeah, if we do find a way, I'm there. But like, because that was really telling. Like when I saw that 100 million, I thought, is this a scare tactic or is it because she has something that we are not aware of? Like that's a very confident countersuit, very confident. And is it so confident that she knew that she was going to win? And that win will transfer over to people's opinions in the VA trial. But the UK judge also said that he just made the assumption that she made the $7 million donation. And we have zero proof of that. Zero proof. So what happens when we find out that didn't happen? What happens when the IRS turns around and says that we don't have any record of this ever happening? What happens to his opinion and his claim that said she's not a gold digger because she definitely did donate the money? That was a really ding dong move on part of the judge. And I'm sorry, I don't care if that's disrespectful to a judge, but he gave us toilet paper, so I call him a ding dong.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. I'm sorry if I'm getting in trouble for this. I don't think anybody's gonna come after me, knock on wood. But I mean, please don't.
I can't afford it. Please don't.
Come after you. Maybe just Les will come after you.
I agree with Stevie.
That's even scarier. I don't want to get her away. You know what freaks me out? And I want to go off of what Les was just saying. Like, is there something we don't know? Because
it was the 1st of September, by the way. That's what the comment says. It was the 1st of September when she made the claim.
Thank you, Tracy.
That was from Tracy.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, that's a really thank you for adding that. But yeah, Les was saying basically how is there something we don't know, and we've talked about this to an extent before, and that's what worries me. Like, not to kind of go off topic, but that's what worries me about her with this stuff is I can't tell if she's being confident just because she is so self-absorbed and into herself, or if she just truly knows something that we don't know, like you just said. Like when she was going out on her hikes and stuff, I didn't know if I just assumed, she in her mind it's always gonna be, oh, I'm doing good, I'm doing great, I'm gonna win this thing. So that's why I've come to realize after this UK trial that it leaves me on edge, and I just wonder, like you were just kind of saying.
Well, just before we move on to maybe the next topic or whatever, before I forget, basically, I was talking to, I was watching and talking to Lost Beyond Pluto, Nora, and the end of her video that she just put out, she mentions the silver lining, and Les just touched on it then a minute ago. The silver lining out of this judge's ruling and out of the UK case is the fact that everything she has said now, everything that she has said is legally recorded. Mm-hmm. So it's in a court of law. It's a legal document. So anything that she can be pulled up on and referred back to in that UK trial will absolutely bring her undone. Yeah. So I don't remember the transcripts exactly, but if she mentioned that the $7 million was paid, and then that gets found out to be wrong, well, she's in a whole lot of trouble, because that evidence can't be disputed. Nothing from the UK trial can be disputed in terms of the transcripts, what people said under oath, all of those things. Everything she said under oath in the UK is absolutely taken now as 100% gospel. It's legally what she said.
Guess what I'm doing between now and the time of my stream, my members only stream. I nearly said another word. My members, I have a members only stream tonight at 7. I nearly said something. I'm so used to saying
I don't know if
now.
I should ask you about that.
Guys,
I'm so used to saying it now.
You know, listen, we were talking about this off. This is what we all came in laughing about. She's like, oh, I got my clients, and then all of a sudden she's like, I got my members only streams. Like, wait a minute, what the hell? What did I?
Guys, I know a lot about spiritually empowered coaching. If you want a message, email me. I'll talk to you.
I'll tell you a thing or two. Oh my goodness! But I'm gonna see. She said.
Oh, you got to do that. It's funny.
I have to start a new rumor on Twitter now.
Okay.
Don't send photos to anyone's email. Just a warning. Please don't send any pictures. If you know what I mean. We don't want that. We're talking about the case.
Please join Les's members only stream.
Yes. Whew. It's gonna be a wild ride. But I will see where indeed she did say that $7 million, because Judge said, he's like, nope. She said that she donated that $7 million. So by gum, we're going to say, I'm just going to announce it to the world that she didn't. So what he's essentially saying is, on Amber's behalf, yes, she did in fact donate this money. So you know what, everyone, back off, because I said so. Well, you know what, Judge, we say collectively, we need some proof.
Mm-hmm.
I just have to say
some proof.
Tudor says that's awkward to learn about your mom. I'm sorry, I couldn't ignore that. Yeah, it's been an awkward life for me. I can tell you that right now. It's been really awkward. But sorry, Les. I didn't mean to distract from that. But
yeah, remember that one time where I said it's a very good thing that I don't have children? This is why. We just had a crash course on why it's a good thing I don't have children.
Other than me.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you, Darlene, for the super chat. She says the judge was so ridiculous. I'm amazed that he didn't say that Johnny pooped in the bed. That's a good point.
I was waiting for it.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a great point.
Yeah, And by the way, for the $7 million, I did a video because somebody asked me to do it this week, so I did it. But if you didn't see it, the only thing I could tell you is that she's listed in the honor roll, or whatever it is. And she's listed under 1 million to a little bit, like 5 million, let's just say. So that's what she's listed as. Now, I can't prove anything. Does this mean that she gave $1 million? Does she mean that did Musk? People were saying maybe Musk just gave the money. It's possible.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
wouldn't doubt it. And she kept it. Did she? I heard somebody was doing a video about taxes and the taxes they had to pay on the $7 million, so she really wouldn't get the full $7 million. Okay, that's another possibility. That's something else to think about. That was a different angle to look at it. All I prove is that in that video, I showed clearly that she's listed there. She's listed under 1 to 5 million. I can't prove anything else. I haven't found anything else. But Stevie, go right ahead.
No, I agree, Matt. I saw that. I think I saw that in your video as well. But the interesting thing about that, right, is on that honor roll, is that they list people. Those people listed there are pledges. So that's a commitment that I'm going to give you money. It's not an actual, we've received that money. It's I said I'm going to donate this much money to you, but it doesn't mean that the actual donation has taken place. So it's like she could have literally donated at zero at this point, but she pledged that she would. So that doesn't prove anything. It proves that they're supporting her and they're saying, she's said that she'll give us this money, but it doesn't prove that she actually has done it. And that's why the receipts are so important, because and like you said in your video too, Rob, it says 1 to 5 million or something in that range is where her name's listed. But it's like it's just that she pledged, and that's why there's no exact amount there, because she hasn't actually donated anything. It's just, hey, I'm going to do this, but I don't know when, and I can't tell you when I'm going to do it.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead, Les.
No, because maybe you'll know the answer to my question, Shelby.
Yeah.
Didn't Johnny donate the first little chunk? He said, okay, if this is where the money's going, like you made your decision on where the money's going, I will donate it myself because it's easier from his bank account to their bank account. And they were going to do some things in the background that she got the tax benefit from it. And it was her and her lawyer that put a stop to that. I could have sworn I heard that. And I don't even know if it's true.
I heard it. I know what you're saying, because this was a while ago, right?
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't think it's been confirmed, but I don't know. Could Stevie or Rob, do you know the answer? Because I was actually going to ask that same question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah, he did donate. I can't remember the exact figure, so I don't want to say the wrong thing, but he did definitely donate, and I'm pretty sure he donated to both of the charities. So it was the Children's Hospital and the ACLU, I think. He donated to both charities. Okay. It wasn't like millions; it was in the hundreds of thousands, I think. But still,
it was
he was like, yeah. And we know what he's like. We know what he's like, and that's why he wanted to donate it to a charity in the first place.
Exactly.
And so he would quite happily give away his money to charity, but she. Obviously,
sweet Chastity. Johnny donated 200. Okay, so there you go. So anything,
200K. There you go.
And it was obviously in her name because it would have been on behalf of her. So fair enough. So, oh God.
Real quick, I just wanted to say this may sound like a dumb question, but I guess I haven't put thought into it. Has the charity that she's supposed to donate to, have they come after her or anything? I'm confused what's going on there.
I haven't heard that.
Jennifer Howell said that within her letter that she wrote, or it was in either the letter or her deposition, that Jennifer Howell says all that money that Amber was supposedly donated to Art of Elysium, she actually said, we think it was Muskie. They're looking into it. They are looking into it. And I think it's because Jennifer Howell is so obviously and rightfully so hurt by all of this. She's like, I need to get to the bottom of this. So if it shows up that Muskie was the donator to Art of Elysium, who's to say he's not going to donate to the charity that he's at the top of the totem pole from? Right?
Exactly. And that's why I started to cut you off there. I got excited. But that was a point that I was gonna make after as well. You read my mind. That to me, in my head, it's like, all right, so this charity hasn't come out and said anything. But I feel like the reason being is because I have a feeling that the money could have had come from him. So that's why I'm thinking, okay, we haven't heard anything because they have the money, but maybe they were told to keep quiet, whatever the case is. That's my take on that.
Yeah. But but the thing is, so when I donate to Stevie's charity on Saturday, when I donate that, it's going to show up in my bank account, and and I'm going to have my tax receipt. I'm going to have everything. So when Stevie says, "Hey, Les, what the hell is the matter with you? You didn't donate it. You had Muskie do it." I can say, no. Look, it came from my bank account, and here's my tax receipt.
Right.
here it is.
Yeah.
Like you'll see the money coming from my bank account into the charity, and I have my tax receipt. Like there's,
Yeah.
even though Muskie could have
So-
at some point gave me the money to take from my account,
Right.
but there'd be a paper trail. But she can't even prove that piece of paper to say, look what I did. She can't even do that.
No.
Here's what I think. I think that if Musk is involved, it's real simple. Listen, Amber, just take the money, give it, and I'll give it right back to you. That's all. As long as you show it, you can give it, you'll have proof. I'll give it right back to you. Don't worry about it because I got you covered.
That's true.
That's all he had to do. And all she
Yep.
had to do was like, okay, I don't care. Money means nothing. So whatever she won, she would donate to charity and say, look at me. Hey, everybody, I'm in for her. See, I'm a good friend.
Do
And
you
then-
hair flip?
Oh, sorry.
There you
I don't have much hair to flip, really. So
And I wanted to just say that right there actually goes to show you how she's not as good as she thinks she is, because exactly what you guys said, she could have just gone and given it away and had him just give it right back to her, but she wasn't that smart.
yeah, I mean, because
Well-
that's what I would have done. I would have.
Because
Oh,
we're smart.
That's what I
It's-
would have done.
It's just as simple as what Les just said, like, and all of you said. It's
Yeah.
just as simple as that. Like, yeah, I donated to charity. There's the receipt. That's it.
Right.
It's all done. There doesn't need to be any motions to compel. There doesn't need to be any subpoenas. It doesn't need to be any of this stuff. If she just gives it up, why not? Why not just show the receipt and
That's
it's
all
all
it
done.
takes, right here.
It's all right there. And so, like, she has shot herself in the foot everywhere here, which is
Exactly.
great because
Yeah, it is great.
Jennifer Howe has had her integrity called into question. She's not going to give up now. So she's going to tell the truth. And, she talks about the charity money and all of that, along with Whitney and Amber and all that. But she won't give up. And the other thing is, too, to consider here is that the LA Children's Hospital, they probably just are trying to distance themselves completely from all of this because they don't want their charity to be associated with anything negative whatsoever.
Right now.
The ACLU, on the other hand, the ACLU actually held her hand throughout all of this. They helped her write more articles, more bullshit about all of this stuff. And so they're involved, they're invested in this. So unlike the LA Children's Hospital that are saying, we're out of it, we don't want to be anywhere near this, the ACLU are diving in head first and they want to become part of the trial as well. They want to be in there. They want to be amongst it, which is dangerous for them. But it also shows the connection there. And of course, we know Muskie's got the connection as well with the ACLU. So it's extremely, extremely dodgy, the whole thing.
Right.
And you won't find the ACLU coming out anytime soon saying, no, we don't have record of the payment because she didn't pay us. No. There'll be stonewalling everywhere there because they don't want to paint her in a bad light, and by default themselves in a bad light. So the ACLU are a big player here, and they will not come out anytime soon and say the truth because they're so heavily invested in Amber the Scamber Haymaker Turd right now that they just can't go backwards.
Hey, we
Sorry, I had to throw that one in there.
I have to say, we have some sick people roaming this earth. That's all I have to say. Like, it's just
True.
that's what I've come to I've come to that conclusion after all this is just, man, this is such a big thing. It's insane.
And Shelby, I was gonna piggyback on. I feel so bad for your friend that went through all this, got sick,
Yeah.
and then
yeah,
and
it's
now
horrible.
can't defend himself. But the problem is here is that stress and that anxiety and that emotional, physical, spiritual abuse will make us sick. There is a huge spike in cancer patients within our community. Like there's way too many to say this is not a coincidence that the two and two go hand in hand.
Right.
Fibromyalgia is another one that they say, we don't know where it came from, but again, we'll see it a lot within the community. So it does tie in because our body holds on to the trauma. I'm really worried for Depp's health because if this keeps going, let's be honest, he's not 30 anymore. I don't want to call him an old man. By far, he is by far an old man, but he's not 30 either.
Exactly.
So I
True.
really worry, and the substance abuse in the past would his health. I'm sure is not good to begin with. So I worry about these things. That's why I tell every single person who is going through this, you got to take care of number one. At some point, you got to say, okay, that wall between me and them is going up, and all my focus is now going on me, because we do get sick. We do. Our hair falls out. We're constantly sick. Our adrenals go to pot, and it's just wreaks havoc. I'm still regaining some of my things that happened like 10 years ago. I'm still starting to bounce back from, and that this is just something that we don't talk about, is that the illness side of it is very real, very, very real. And for some reason, I feel like these kind of people instinctively know that if you push someone hard enough, they will get sick. They will get sick. And then that's another thing they can say, look what I did.
Yeah.
Look what I did.
Yeah, no,
It's
for
true.
sure.
Horrible. It's disgusting. And I just feel so bad for everybody. Like,
I'm sorry to chime in.
Yeah.
Guys, I have to go. I have to get going and get a few things done. So I really would love to hang around all day for about 7 or 8 hours and chat, but I've got to go get to work and stuff. So, but awesome to catch up with you all. And Rob, thanks so much for having me again, my friend.
Of course,
the chat.
dude. It's an honor.
Awesome people in the chat as well. Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Stevie, anything you want to say
friend.
about your channel? You got any live streams? Anything you want to promote?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh
yes.
gosh,
Please
I
do.
should mention
Please
that. So tomorrow I'll be streaming at the usual time, having a look at some of this Gust of Musk stuff and the judge in the UK and the connections there. So that'll be cool. And then this weekend on Saturday, so it'll be the 14th for people in the US and the UK. I'm doing the charity stream, which is going to be just fantastic. I'll have all of these fine people there and some other guests as well, which would be great. And it's just going so well. It's already, I think, I put a goal of $500, and somehow, amazingly, before we've even had the stream, it's already blown that out of the water, and it's up to like $700 or something.
Wow.
And so
that's
awesome.
yeah, it's so good. So the charity stream is about raising awareness for domestic violence survivors, and that's the theme of it. That's the reason why. But the charity that the money is going to is the Great Ormond Street Hospital that Johnny Depp supports, and helping out all of the sick people there, sick kids, people, and could be victims as well. So if you're free, please head over to that stream on Saturday. Thank you for reminding me. I nearly forgot.
What time is that Eastern, by the way? Eastern time?
I believe it'll be 11 a.m.
11 a.m. Okay.
11 a.m. for us. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Stevie, if you haven't subscribed to Stevie J Raw, what are you waiting for? Great guy. Good streamer.
You can wait.
Works hard.
You can wait.
Thanks, Shelby.
I would wait.
On that note, I'm out. See you guys.
Take care,
Have
Stevie.
a good one.
Have a good
Bye,
one.
Love you all.
Stevie.
Too
See ya.
hard.
Bye.
Stevie, okay, I just want to get the super chat real quick. It says, I love this name. You all be testing my patience.
That's me right now.
Amen. Amen.
Has had me. I've been in a mood and I'm.
I love it.
Me
He
too.
said- He says, I'm honestly still in shock of the court ruling against Johnny. Have you guys talked about the alleged connection between the judge and Amber Heard's legal team? I think we have, but
we
I'm going
have,
to let, but I'll let Les and Shelby do that if you like.
Well,
Shel, you have the thing up, right? Because I have it.
yeah, I can
my
go ahead.
phone.
So I can just kind of address it again. Let me just pull it up. If
I can screen share. I'll try to do it. I'm not too great at it, but I will try.
Yeah, do you want me to how about I just send it to you through DMs, Rob?
Well, you can screen share it. I think Shelby can screen share, and Rob just has to invite it in.
Yeah, I'll just screen share it. Then let me pull it up.
In the meantime, I'm going to see what people are saying in the chat.
Yeah.
In the chitty chat. Hello,
Yeah, there's a lot of
Linda,
comments, but I didn't
Tudor.
want to disturb everybody because it was
I
a great
know,
comment.
I
And
know, I
was
get
like,
it.
ooh, I don't want to bother.
Can you guys see this? Okay. We good?
Let's see. Here we go.
You there?
Yeah. There we
Okay.
go.
It just glitched out for a second, but we're good. Okay. So it says here. So it says Nickel wrote a book with Jeffrey Robertson and was employed by his firm, Dottie Street, when appointed. Jeffrey Robertson is Jen Robinson, Amber Heard's counsel, mentor, and employer. Jen Robinson brought Amber Heard to a private dinner during trial. Attendees Baron S. Helena Kennedy, hostess Kathy Lett. Kennedy was also with Dottie, I assume, is that how you say it? Or Dowdy? Kathy Lett is Jeffrey's ex-wife, personal friend of Jen and mutuals Camilla Palmer, Nichols' wife. Multiple news reports placed this team of women working with and supporting Amber for years, from UN functions to published support during the trial. Crazy stuff.
No,
should I keep it up?
Shelby, did you ever hear, because we did hear about, we heard about Amber's Angels and how she had this dinner, and then someone turned around and said that that was never true. So they actually, someone in the chat's going to know. I think about 100 people in the chat are going to know this answer that I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we did get someone did come forward and say that dinner never happened.
Yeah, they did. They did.
But now they're saying it absolutely did happen. So did Kathy Lett forget that she was not supposed to admit to it? So I think someone slipped up. I think someone slipped up and said something she wasn't supposed to. And now you're like, well, you already said this didn't happen. So why did you cover your tracks in such a way that it makes it look extra shady now? Like if it was just a dinner and it was no big deal, just say it was a dinner and no big deal. There's no reason to cover it up and say it never happened. It's just really weird.
I think you're right. No, I think you're exactly right on that, because back to what you were saying, exactly. If it was just the dinner and it was super innocent, then why is she trying to hide it? And to me, that right there, somebody coming out and saying, "Oh, it didn't happen." No, that just provides you with the answer you need, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah, in my opinion too.
There's something weird going on in the chat, guys.
What's going on?
Sometimes be careful about what you talk about so we don't get Rob demonetized, but I think we're okay. There was people who were talking about Elon Musk and Amber doing stuff with robots or something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Well, I can go over some of the chat if you guys want. I mean, we can catch it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Like, I don't think that should get him in trouble. I just,
no, because Rob can't control what other people do or say. He can only control what he says.
Right. But the chat won't affect his channel, right?
I don't think so.
No. It's usually if I play music or I would show something on TV or something crazy like that. If I would do something like that, then that would probably get me in trouble.
Okay, yeah, because I was only saying that because I thought I read somewhere a little while ago that it can, but honestly, if it's what they're saying, I don't think it matters.
That's fine anyway. Listen, I did this stream for everybody, so this is I'm more focused on what happened during the week and what we've been feeling and the anger and depression and that's to me that's what this is. Yeah, I mean, this is what it's about, because we went from celebratory and popping champagne and all this stuff to like, what the hell just happened and how could this happen? It's just like a total 180 of how we felt and what we thought were going to happen. And
well, Rob, we all had that thing. Like, of course, I'm an optimist and I always like to think the best of people, places, and things and situations. And if you put out the positivity, it comes back to you. So I was trying not to focus on that slight chance that it was going to go in this direction. So I was prepared for it, but not in this way, and not in such a demeaning, demonstrative, damaging way to millions of people, not just Johnny and company, but millions of other people. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I think none of us were expecting it, and that's what hit me on Monday. Like, man, we all woke up early, we were all excited. Unfortunately, I had to open my mouth on Sunday by saying like what happened, because I always get this feeling sometimes when something's going down, and I hate when I get that inner feeling. Even though I'm positive, I try to be positive. I try to remain positive as I can. But I just had that then, like, why do I feel like this might not go the way I'm thinking it's going to go? Yeah. And what happens if it goes that way? We really want to discuss it, and I understand. Now it's unfortunately, it's what has happened. Even worse, I've got to resign from Warner Brothers because they told me to. Like, man, like I don't know how she could wake up in the morning and be proud of herself that she got some, just because the relationship didn't work, that they got this guy fired from Disney. You got now Warner Brothers doesn't want to do anything with him. And you not only him, but I don't think she recognizes the repercussions it's caused on society. I don't think she truly, or maybe doesn't even just care, because she's so selfish.
You're right.
That all she really cares about is her friends, how she can make, and how famous she can be.
Yep.
I mean, that's just my personal feelings about this whole damn mess.
Oh, I think so. Oh, definitely. You're completely right about that. That it's all about her. And I wanted to just real quick address this one comment because it happened today. So Alicia says, I got blocked by Amber Heard's loyal friend Brandon McCulloch. Is that how you say it? On Insta after a couple of my comments. And let me tell you, it feels so good, guys. So that kind of ties in with, I guess, what we were talking about. She's just so self-absorbed. Well, this guy has pictures of her on his Instagram. Well, I went on his Instagram and I was like, lock her up. Oh, wait, Australia will take care of that. And then he blocked me. And
she messaged me. She's like, he blocked me. I'm like, how did you make that happen? Show me how to do it.
Yeah, I messaged Les and I was like,
wow.
Oh gosh, he blocked me. And Alicia, I was talking with her, and she was like, I hope I get blocked too. And she commented something after a few comments. What? Am I seeing things?
What do you mean?
Are you seeing things?
The comment?
Oh, the comment, Shelby, is my baby cake, sugar girl, cookie love, you honey babe.
Thank you.
You got a lot of love there, go. All right, so one person blocks you, you got love from the other spectrum. So don't worry about it, Shelby. That's all I wanted to show you. Don't worry about it. You got plenty of
trash
love.
took itself out. That's all I have to say.
Throw them out. Oh, okay. That was a nice comment. I thought people were getting weird again.
Oh,
everyone wants to know. Carolyn or Caroline. I'm so sorry if I said that wrong.
Good job, Shelby. You get those blocks, girl.
Yeah, she said. So Carolyn, two messages up from that said, "Be careful with Brandon. He's keeping a dossier as evidence." So, should I just hand him over? Should I just fire off all my videos?
Oh, wow.
Here's your evidence. Here you go.
Somebody said way earlier in the chat that Facebook was trying to prevent people from forwarding the petition on their page. I don't know if you guys heard that, but I just
I don't go on Facebook.
Yeah,
I don't really either.
Me either, but somebody said that in the chat, and I was like, oh man, I missed it. We'll go through some of the chat. Why not? Mr. Good Davis says, I can't believe the Sun verdict was a win towards DV victims.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What?
They're saying that they are like essentially what they're saying is that all that damage that you're feeling, all that hurt that you're feeling, all that re-abuse that you're getting right now, it's not real. It's not real. We did something good for you. This feeling is not real.
Oh,
they're
my
gaslighting
God.
they're gaslighting everyone and re-traumatizing everyone all over again.
Wow.
There's something wrong with the world because, and I mean, we've said this all the time and I'm just repeating this, but there's something seriously wrong with these people. And again, these are sick people because you're so, these same people will probably be fake as hell and be advocates for things like this. They'll be like, oh, human rights, but then they turn around and then publish this kind of nonsense. It's horrible.
Wow, man, I can't believe I just read it. Oh, look at this one. Margot says her fans have actually been tweeting, I wish she would have murdered him.
They are as bad as her.
That's horrible. Who would ever say something like that? Wow, that's beyond anything I could really think of. I would never wish that on.
No.
Oh, come on.
I don't even wish that upon Amber.
Yeah, of course not. I don't either.
I don't want that happening to her.
Hello, puppy.
Oh my God. We love this dog.
Sorry. She got in the way of the camera. I was like, can you get out of the way?
What's her name
I
again?
want to be famous, Daddy.
name-
I do.
Her name is Chanel. She's a golden retriever.
I love
She's
her.
gorgeous.
Thank
Just
you.
gorgeous.
I'm sorry, she got in the way. I was like, no, get out of the way.
No. Bring her on.
Who would ever say Nadia? I think that's how I say her name. Well, who would ever say something like that? Wait, oh, I lost it. Who would ever say something like that? That unstable cycle like attracts like I mean, and that's to me, that's just absolutely absurd that you would wish that on someone like that, and you don't even, like. It makes me wonder if people really actually have took the time to get all their facts straight, or are they just into it? Oh, it's Amber Heard. I like her in this movie, so I'm just going to defend her. Like,
Yeah, something tells me that they're very young. Like, and even if age-wise they're not emotionally, their emotional age is a very, very young, because that is the mentality and the word formation of someone who has not figured it out yet.
And
When I
very
say it, I
emotionally-
mean life.
Yeah, very emotionally unaware as well. Yeah, basically exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Hendrika says, "Oh yeah, the Sun are being so bad and accusing JD of gaslighting by saying he is innocent."
Wow. Oh,
You're losers. If the Sun is watching this, you guys are not the Sun. You're the scum. Your poor excuse of news. How dare you call yourself news? That's what disgusts me about this.
here's the thing, JD. As soon as you said scum, I had an image of his tattoo. He changed it from slim to scam. Why would he do that on his body permanently if he didn't honestly feel that way?
Well, I don't know, man. Yeah. People need help. That's for sure.
Amen, Gilly.
Is Zuckerberg taking their comments? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I think the problem, you see, this is the other problem too, because that judge put that down. Now you could see all the negativity, and you could see how right away that companies are backing away, because we knew that was going to happen. That's why we were hoping that this verdict would be the opposite way, because we wanted to see Amber Heard get kicked out. We wanted to see her get what was coming to her. And unfortunately, again, I'll say this like at the beginning, this judge only went on hearsay. He did not go on any of the evidence in front of him. And I don't know how you can be a judge and not go based on the evidence that is presented to you in the courtroom. I don't understand what he was looking at. I don't understand. Oh, yeah, well, she's the girl and she's very frail. So guess what? You did her. You must have. How do you get that from looking at somebody?
Well, and not only that, judge said that Josh Drew was a stellar witness, but Josh Drew was nothing but hearsay. He got all his stories from Rocky. He said in his deposition that Depp woke up in said poop in the bed on that fateful morning that the poop was found. He said that it was Johnny that found it because he rolled into it. He said that Johnny came home from Australia with his
Did
hands.
You say he? Oh my God! Did you say he rolled into it?
Yeah.
Oh my God!
So that
I
was
thought he was
Josh
away. Oh my God!
No, but he
That's
was
gross.
away. Johnny didn't find out until like 2 days later that this thing was waiting in his bed for him. But Josh Drew's version, his rendition was that Johnny was in the bed. Wait, it gets better. Josh Drew also said that Johnny came home from Australia when his finger happened, that he came home with his hand wrapped up in duct tape. He hadn't even seen a doctor yet. This is how far-fetched Josh Drew is as a witness. And he also made testimony on Boston plane flight. And guess what? He hadn't even met Rocky when Boston plane flight actually happened. He hadn't even met them yet. So how is he able to walk himself into a courtroom or a deposition and speak on it, write it in a witness statement when he didn't even know them? That's like me standing up for Shelby saying, oh yeah, this happened to her 10 years ago. Les, how do you know? Well, she told me.
By the way,
that's exactly it.
By the way, I think my daughter accidentally blocked somebody. I don't know. Yeah, she said I'm getting that I blocked somebody. Just go ahead, say it. Say it.
I'm so sorry why I tried to block someone.
Don't go in the chat and block people. This is why I try to mod everybody. That's why I'm going on my phone trying to mod as many people, because by accident that happened. I don't see it. I don't know. I'm going to check if I can undo something. Oh, I see. I see.
Did anyone see that happen? Because usually it pops up for us, like for the
No, I
mods.
didn't see
I
it.
got it.
So-and-so.
I got it. It was a message by Cherokee Cheese, and it just says, Les Shelby, do you like cheese? But that's what happened.
Wait, what?
It wasn't my daughter. It wasn't my daughter. I see what happened. They left a message and they were getting silly, so somebody blocked them out. That's what
They
happened.
get timed down.
They got
Wait, what were
timed
they
out.
asking?
They said, Les Shelby, do you like cheese? I have no friggin'
That's
idea.
irrelevant.
Yeah, so it wasn't you who did it, baby. It wasn't you.
Where
So
do these people come from?
I don't know. I'd never seen this person before.
No, because
I-
like I've had weird, like, didn't they say something weird, like sugar cookie Shelby or something? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just someone being nice and saying, hey, whatever. I didn't take it as anything offensive. And then I'm
I
like,
think they're just being stupid, honestly.
yeah, it's just whatever. Oh, this is funny. Elisa, I'm going to put this to Elisa. She goes, don't go into the chat and block people. Best quote of 2020.
Parenting rule number 101.
You're right. Well, like Les was saying, she was saying that, yeah, you were basically saying that this guy is a complete buffoon, which is completely correct.
Complete buffoon. You're right.
And, I mean, I'm trying not to. I have to watch my language here. Like, I mean, if you want to talk, offline, I'll tell you how I really feel.
Yeah, she will.
No, but like I said on Twitter, this guy, the way he came out and said this stuff, it sounds as if somebody was up nearby him and was like this, making him like write the thing.
Mhm.
And I like Les said before, she goes, it was so unnecessary for him to even say this stuff out loud. And yeah, Jen, I don't think it's ever going to stop, because I'm telling you, in my personal life, they love me. Online, they love me. Everywhere. Even if I moved to Pluto, they would find me there. So...
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. That's so funny. Stop attracting weirdos, Shelby.
Just like you're asking, that's like asking Amber to stop being crazy. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to say, Les sent me a document. I meant to ask if you heard of it, where Amber was basically talking about how she doesn't have a drinking problem because she only drinks wine. So basically, she was just saying, my parents have had problems with spirits before. They've had problems with alcohol before. So I only drink red wine. So that means it doesn't count. Have you heard of that?
No.
Yeah, she was basically saying that she doesn't have problems with alcohol because all she drinks is wine. Yeah, Judy, I agree. You said it'll be interesting to see if they can remember the lies that they've told at the UK trial since the story. That's an amazing point, because it's true. When you tell one lie, you're going to have to end up telling more depending on how bad it is, but generally, yes. So it would be great to see this.
Yeah, because someone said to me, Les, you shouldn't have done these videos because you're teaching them how to do better, like where they made their mistakes so they can fix it in VA. And I said, they can't fix it in VA. This is exposing every single inaccuracy, every single hiccup, every single thing that they did is exposing it. So she can't use anything from my videos. So everyone's like, she's going to use your videos. She can certainly try. I would love to see it, but it'll screw her. She's locked and loaded. And the thing is, we are so far from what she originally said in her VA original documents. We are so far away from those that already right off the hop, they're going to be like, well, how did we get so far away from what you said in, when you first wrote all your depositions and all your witness statements and all of this for the VA trial?
Yeah.
How did we get here?
How the hell exactly? It's there's no coming back from it. Yeah,
No.
Gary just said 2 bottles of wine a night. Yeah, that's what she says. And honestly, knowing her, I mean, she probably has more than that. And I don't know if I even believe that she only drinks wine. Let's be real. Like she says, "Oh, I only drink wine." No.
Well, Johnny even backed that up actually. Because
So he did back it up.
Yeah, he
Okay.
did back it up. He said that she doesn't drink spirits or beer. It's like red wine and red wine only. And as you saw in the transcript, she said it's because her parents or her have never had a problem with red wine, so it's not a problem. Any alcohol is a problem if you've been predisposed.
Well, I'm actually very surprised. So I was wrong about that because I would have thought that she would just be lying because you can't trust anything she's saying. But
oh no, it's true. No, but he definitely backed that up because I was waiting for that too. I thought, well, Johnny will know for sure, and he said no,
Right.
it's true. Like she sticks to the wine. So
yeah, you're right. If you are predisposed, stay away.
Yeah.
And she also loves that angel dust too, guys. Don't forget that.
Well, listen, I've seen pictures all week of people of her drinking, of her drunk. It's like a whole bunch of, I think she was posing with a whole bunch of wine bottles that were empty, like along a road.
Yeah,
or something like
yeah.
that. I was, you saw that. And
Yeah.
let's be honest. Every actor, every musician, whoever it is, they have, hold on, it's getting, hold on. Let me move to a different room. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Sandy said you already know that the VA courts already have the transcript from the UK trial, and that is absolutely true. That they, oh dear God, that they do have the transcripts, and she even asked, who I think it was Elaine asked for everything that was within the UK trial. She asked for that, and Ben she was like, you have that. Like Amber was at the UK trial. She has all that. She has access. You don't need to get it from us. Stop playing dumb, essentially, is what they're doing. They're like, we want it all. No, you have it. She was there. She made damn sure she was there. So she has everything.
What I understand, right, is like, I'm the judge, and the guy loses his finger. But yet you're calling him this like boggled my mind. Think about this week. Like, who lost a finger? Did Amber lose a finger? No, he did. How did that happen? Oh, he injured himself. We know he didn't injure himself. It's been proven.
Mm-hmm.
So seriously, how could you injure your finger unless you take a knife and you cut yourself on purpose or something like that?
Yeah.
That's not what happened here. Did he not take any to this into consideration? The witnesses, the concierge saying, hey, I saw her the next day. She looked great. I wanted to compliment her, but I wasn't sure I should do that, but she looked wonderful from one day ago. And but let's just kind of say to people, have you ever been hurt? Have you ever had a black and blue? Have you ever anything like that? You know that it doesn't go away the next day. You don't wake up in the morning. Yeah, you don't look at Shelby.
If you guys want to kind of dive into the mind of Amber Heard and get a take on her logic, just go watch my PowerPoints. Not to promote myself, but
please do no. Promote yourself by all means.
Watch the PowerPoints I've done on Amber Heard. I think her logic will make sense then.
those presentations, I was so happy to be back in school. Let me tell you, it was everything. But when we look at the judge and the whole finger thing, he said Jerry Judge is not a doctor, so we can't say we can't take what Jerry Judge says as fact. But then decided to change the narrative again himself on the stand to say that it is my conclusion that Johnny cut himself on a piece of glass. But you're not a doctor either, Judge. So how are you taking away what Jerry Judge said?
But
and he actually said he's not a doctor, and then turn around and give your own rendition, but you're not a doctor either. So
they're crazy.
You're not God, Judge. You're not God. You're just a judge. And of crap you want at that.
Shelby, you were saying?
No, I was just agreeing. I'm sorry if I talked over somebody. No, these people are crazy. Sorry if I speak my mind too much.
I want you to speak your mind.
I want to stick to the facts because I do like Les is really good at sticking to the facts and keeping it going, and I'm just here being like, these assholes. Excuse my language. These assholes. That's what they are, because it really it infuriates me. And yeah, I don't even know what we were talking about, honestly. But he's stupid. Poor excuse of a judge, and then said, hey, I don't know the exact quote for quote. Or whatever, word for word, whatever the hell you want to call it. But he basically said the fact that Depp or Amber abused him serves no relevance. You know what I'm talking about? What was the quote? He basically said that. What relevance does it serve to this case? Well, dude, stop doing acid before you review these cases, because clearly there's something wrong with you, and it's clear, or at least don't make it so obvious. That's what I continue to have a hard time with. How did you make it so obvious that you're, one, an idiot, two, probably bribed?
I mean, the whole. Go ahead, Shelby. Go ahead, Les. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just so mad that he has essentially said that 12 of the 14 incidences, and the one incident, whichever one he said, Hicksville, the one that the confidential, he said he didn't believe it. So if he's not going to believe an SV episode, if he's going to say this thing that I heard in confidential chambers isn't true, how are you going to take the other 12 incidences and say, you know what, she's right about these, but the more serious one, nope, I'm not buying that one. I don't understand. He could have at least, if this was going to be his ruling from day one, at least said, I did not see enough evidence that could sway me. But no, he had to make sure that these 12 of the 14 stuck. So my next question is, Rob, do you know that when they get to the VA trial, those two incidences that judge has said they're hogwash, are they going to try them again in VA, or are they going to say, well, because the judge?
It's entirely two separate trials, right? So you can't look at this as like this trial and this continuation. They're going to treat it totally different, because first of all, don't forget, we have Amber suing him. So now she's got to prove her countersuit. Okay. So she's got to bring all her evidence, and he's got to defend that. Right. So we got two cases here happening in Virginia, which is a separate entity to what happens into the UK. And then he's got to decide all over again. But here's what I didn't see, because when I look at things and look at the witnesses, I'm like, why didn't they bring any professionals in? Why didn't they bring in a professional doctor, say, look, when I put Mr. Depp's hand, this is what I saw. The book, and Gary brings up a great point. He says less spiritual empowered coaching. So how do you get a smashed bones by cutting it on a piece of glass accidentally?
Right.
Exactly, Gary.
It defies the laws of physics. That's not how it works. Not to nerd the living hell out of this, but physics do not work like that. It does not work like that. That's not how it works. Do you think that he threw the damn wine bottle, then ran? Exactly. He threw that damn wine bottle, ran around the counter, and said, "Let me wait until it hits and see if it hits my finger off." That's what happened.
Shelby's so funny.
It's so true, funny. Because doctor said it was the high velocity impact.
Oh my God, Shelby, it's so funny. Oh my God. How do you come up with stuff?
I've been trying to figure it out for years. People always ask my parents.
Oh my God.
We have no clue. Her parents have no clue.
She doesn't. Ask spiritually empowered coaching. She's been trying to discover the
Why do you think I deep dive into the psyche of humans? I had to. I had no choice. Look what I was raising.
Look what
what have you done?
Tudor says Les, and taking away actually doctors who said it could not be done by the way Amber and the judge said yes. So of course it can't be done. Why understand? See, here's where I think Johnny went wrong. him person, but his team. I would have subpoenaed professional doctors, maybe the nurse that was there. I would have got her name. I would have subpoenaed her. I would have subpoenaed the doctor that surgically took care of his finger. And I would have said, listen, in your professional experience, how did this happen? Without knowing any fact of the case, we want to know your professional opinion. And I would have had the nurse be on the stand and say, what did you see when Miss Heard came to the hospital the day she claimed that she was physically abused by Johnny?
She didn't go to the hospital. Only Johnny went to the hospital.
Right,
Yeah.
but didn't the nurse say that she examined Amber and the only thing she
No.
had was a little... I read
Oh,
something...
the personal nurse. Yes.
Right,
Yeah, they
yes,
didn't bring
the
Aaron.
person.
Yeah, they didn't bring Aaron Bruin in, which I really thought was odd because Aaron was supposedly hit with the Red Bull can by Amber or by Johnny. She got hit with a Red Bull can at some point on the stairs incident. So she wasn't brought in because that would have been, again, like, I don't know why. I don't know why they didn't bring it in. I think that's a question for Shelbourne.
I actually think I remember.
You know.
Oh wait, never mind. I was thinking of something else.
Okay.
Machina says he needs to charge Turb with assault. She admitted to that. Yes, she did.
Yeah.
The thing is, that's a criminal charge. So I don't know. The only reason that Johnny didn't do it, okay, let's be real. The only reason he didn't do it was because he was so blindly in love with this woman. I don't know why.
Right.
But all you hear from the recordings is how much he loves her, how much he loves her. I love you. Let's do this privately. He never wanted this. When people called Amber and said, wow, he went to court, because he had no friggin' choice. She was on TV and writing in newspaper articles about him.
Exactly.
The guy, what would you, I mean, seriously, anybody defending Amber right now, I just want you to think of this, all right? You can disagree with us all you want.
Yeah.
I just want you to, here's my question. If you got punched in the face, someone comes up, you're in a fight, and punches you in the face, you're just going to stand there and say, go ahead, keep hitting me, keep hitting me, keep hitting me. I'm your punching bag. Sooner or later, you're going to do something. It's going to be the point that you're like, man, I can't take this anymore. Because you're human. You're either going to fight back or you're going to get the hell out of there, you know?
Yeah.
And Johnny didn't want to fight back, right? He didn't want to hurt Amber. That's why he kept running away. He kept running away. He kept going to his friends. He kept going to people. And she's making fun of him. Like, oh, go. I forget the guy's name. Like, oh, go to him. Run to him.
Go
He's
to
your savior.
Isaac. Yeah.
Yeah. And she
You
kept
know,
saying that.
You said something, Rob, earlier about the recording, and he and Johnny saying, this is the behavior, and the husband walks away, so he doesn't pop the wife. At no point after him saying that did she say, "But you have popped me, Johnny. Let's discuss that."
Yes.
Exactly. You know what I think about this? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, like in Logic Land. In Logic Land, that tells me that he's saying, I do not want to become that guy who pops his wife. She's not denying it. So he's never popped the wife.
Exactly. And listen, she showed pictures like of him on the plane, of him with ice cream falling down his stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So to me, when you're not knocked out, when you're not wiped out, how are you abusive? You can't even stand up. You're falling asleep, sitting in you're fully dressed. He's fully dressed in these pictures. This doesn't look like a person I would say, man, this guy kicked the crap out of you. You know, when I saw my friend like that, I knew right away, he's not in the right state of mind. He can't even walk up the stairs. This guy's going to get hurt. You know, that is not somebody who's abusive. And what she tried to do, and it was brilliant on her part, let me give credit to which, she used his addictions against him. That's what she did. And she played audio tape of him on the plane, of him, just making this crazy noise because he was so out of it.
Yeah.
She edited a TMZ video to make it seem as if he's slamming things in cabinets and he takes the phone and he's chasing her. But when you see the phone, I know. When you see the phone get slammed, the unedited version, you see her just like this.
Yep. She's very proud of herself. Very proud of herself.
Yeah.
This is her.
So she set him up. Now, the only thing that was really disturbing and was very disturbing, I haven't done a video on it. was the one when he talked about cutting, why don't you cut me?
Yeah.
That was hard.
Yeah.
That was because you could tell he was so upset he wouldn't even care if she did because he's like, just do it,
Yeah. That I put it up and I put up a trigger warning and I said I'll never go here again because I don't want to. People who are already triggered, I don't need any. We don't want to do any. The damage would just be too much, and I don't want to be adding to Judge's damage.
No, that was hard to listen to.
It was really hard to listen to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Jen this is great. Jen said, why, if you love someone, do you take pictures of someone like that instead of waking them up and taking care of them? This is an excellent point.
Great point.
We all know she didn't love him, but she also has no emotions. My God.
Yeah.
Well, she's
go ahead, Shelby.
Pin this comment because it's perfect.
Yeah, pin that. Well, first of all, as I've said before, if
I don't know how to pin it because it says I could put user in timeout or block user, so I'm not going to do that. So I don't know how else I can do, but I'll leave it up there. So go ahead.
No, I was just going to address how we were talking about the whole incident on the plane and just in general. And, as I've said, Amber's not known for her intelligence, but if somebody had to, let's say if they had, for some reason, had to give Johnny Depp and Amber Heard an IQ test, right? Let's say for some reason it was a required thing. Well, if an IQ test cost a lot of money, they could save a lot of money by not giving one to Amber Heard because we all kind of know the truth there. There's a difference between actual like intelligence and like knowing like what you're trying to do as far as being crazy and manipulating people. But just long story short, it's like, it's just so funny seeing this because she actually thought this was going to work out. And here we are talking about it and pointing it out like it's not possible. She really didn't do that good of a job how she believes she did.
I just don't understand how a judge, listen, judges, I can tell you because I deal with like 70 of them. I dealt with them for the last 20 years of my life in my job.
Right.
I know you're going to have a bad apple.
Right.
In any profession you have. You've had a bad apple, they got caught. We've had a few of them, they got caught, doing things that she should have. One was out of bribe money, but they went to jail, they got busted. Another one was working, doing something they shouldn't have done that interfered with court interference. They got caught. So you do have your bad apples. But how a judge, in my mind, because the normal, typical judge, I'll say 95% of the judges I work with, I don't understand how you can't think outside of the box and use logic. There was no logic. Right. There was absolutely no logic. And I usually use logic and common sense. That's how I roll. And facts, of course. You're supposed to use these things, facts, logic, common sense, and the law, which I don't know much about, but the law. And I'm sitting there like, how on earth do you think, is this what you do at home, Judge? If your wife is sitting there in pain, you'd be like, oh my God, hold on, stay there. I'm going to take pictures of you so I can post it. My wife is a drunk. Look, here she is. Oh, my wife. Hold on, I'm going to put my phone and record it so I can show that my wife. Why would you do that? That's something that's not a normal human behavior. You should be. That's why it's a great point by Jen. I mean, that's an absolutely fantastic point. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's just the fact, like she said, if you actually cared about somebody, you're not going to do that. That right there, it just comes down to that. You're not going to take a picture of somebody and just. Exactly. I don't know what else to say. That's.
I won't even do this to someone I don't like.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing. Like even people that I could really do without at all, I still wouldn't. Because you just don't do that. You just don't.
You don't kick people.
It wouldn't even occur to me. It wouldn't even occur to me.
Right.
Sorry, Joni asked why in the UK the judge keeps that stupid wig on their head. You know what? I don't know.
Oh, it's for the high court. Like they're very they keep up with
this one.
Yeah, they all have to wear it. They still do to this day. it's just something that they've done because England likes its history and they like to keep in line with history. And sadly, it just doesn't hold up when the rest of the world sees it. Like it just, like we all say, what are you doing? But it's just something that they do in the UK.
Tammy says she loved his fame and his money, not him. Yeah, it's true.
Amen, Tammy.
You were saying,
that's clear.
Shelby, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you guys off. I also get a random delay here and there sometimes, but I'm really curious, and like I was reading some of the documents the other day again, and then I was watching videos, like the recordings, and she basically said something in the video, and she did say, "I love you, I don't want to hurt you," and I'm like, I don't think that's coming from a genuine place, but do you think there ever was, like, even maybe a little bit of, like, love there, or do you think she's not capable of it at all?
I don't think she's capable of it. What they do, these kinds of people, again, we're not going to label her because we're not,
right.
We can't. So, but what these people, what they do is they figure out, like, they'll watch you. I was reading an article that someone wrote about Ambi Pants, and they said that when they sat down with her, it was like they felt the love because she was so honed in on just them. She's like, we were in a restaurant with so many other people, but I felt like I was the only person on earth. I was like, aha, that's how she does it. So what they do is they hone in on someone and they figure out how they're expressing their feelings, how are they saying, how are they acting, what are they doing, and they'll just mirror. They will mirror. That's why within her deposition, she was so, like, eye focused on the person across the table, because it's you're going to listen to me. It's a power move. And she's making sure that what she's saying is being bought, because if it's not being bought, she gets to change the narrative. Like if they're very, very talented, and they're very intelligent when it comes to figuring out how we behave and mirroring that.
No, you're right.
Instead of me just saying, hey, like, having a conversation with Shelby and just allowing her to be her and allowing myself to be myself and letting those two personalities commingle, that doesn't happen with Amber. She will mesh into, so if I was Amber, I would mesh into whatever Shelby needed me to be.
Right.
Instead of just accepting that we are definitely two different people, and if we like each other, we like each other. If we don't, okay, no big deal.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you're completely right. And I'm not saying that I know everything, because you clearly know way more about that than I do. But I have done research into that. And again, I like kind of minored in like mental health stuff in college. But yeah, I was thinking, like, it's possible she did, it's possible she didn't, but I did lean towards it. No, she didn't. But I think also when she starts crying, do you remember in the recording, and in that moment she kind of cries and she's like, I don't want to hurt you. It's not her crying, in my opinion, because she doesn't want to hurt him. It's because she's crying because, I don't know, it's just like her wanting what she wants so bad, but she's not getting it, if that makes sense. Basically, does that make sense?
It does make sense, because the only time I actually witnessed her cry within her deposition, because remember when she was talking about her 30th birthday, that she was so upset that he was leaving. Like she's explaining this entire thing. She doesn't cry. But when she's explaining that he's leaving, and she's like, don't leave me alone on my 30th birthday. That's when that was a visceral reaction. Those tears were very real. I felt them. They were real. Right. She wasn't upset that this other thing happened. She was upset he was leaving her, and she was going to be alone. That thing of being alone for her is very, very, that's like the worst thing in the world for her, I feel, is to be alone.
Yeah, it's that negative feeling that she doesn't want. It's not even that she cares, like you were saying, it's not that she cares about what he, like, you know, it's not that she cares about what he's doing, if that makes sense. It's more that she cares. I mean, she cares that he's leaving, and that causes her to feel alone. But it's not like I guess the best way to explain it is, if he's divorcing her, it's not that she loves him and is sad that he's leaving her life. It's that she's like, oh, I have this negative feeling because I'm not in control, and it's not everything that she wants it to be. So yeah, basically, you said it better than me, but
No, you nailed it though. You nailed it with the negative feeling.
Right.
That's it. It's she's having this feeling, and naturally these kind of people they do feel a lot of negativity. Like that's
Right.
why a lot of them like high adrenaline sports, because you block out everything else when you're doing something that needs all your focus and attention because your life is on the line. They love things like that because they're so focused, and that's the only time they feel free. Because the rest of they don't have time to think about their loneliness or how to get back at someone. They're just so hell bent on that one train of thought. I got to keep myself alive, and that's a really good feeling, actually. To block everything out. It's a very freeing feeling. It's a good one. So they try to recreate that feeling over and over again to get away from the negative feeling. That's all it is. Nailed it.
Well, you just explained it. That's a very, very interesting point you made about the sports. That's very, very cool.
Most of them do. Yeah.
That is very interesting, and that makes sense because they can have that one thing, and it's kind of in their control. That's the way I see it. Is anything negative, any negative feeling out of their control or just out of their control in general. Sorry, Rob, if we're turning this into like a psychological conversation.
No, this is great. This is what I'm loving.
Because I actually do know a lot about this.
This is great.
I don't want to act like I am a professional because clearly I'm not, but I've done a lot of research into it. But
it seems like you're heading that way. I mean, if that's what you're doing,
Yeah. She's smart. Yeah.
Don't be too generous.
I'm not.
I know. I was expecting that because, again, if you guys want to email me, just email me, and I'll tell you all about what spiritually empowered coaching does on the side. I have some links. I have that was a joke, but thank you so much. But yeah, you know more about this than I do, but It's really interesting to hear how you explain, especially the whole sports thing. That's very interesting.
And someone just said, "No, I'm not going to trust anyone." That's not and as I said it, I'm like, "Oh man, what did I just do?" Just because someone is into high adrenaline sports does not mean that they are a problematic, toxic person. It just means that they enjoy it. But if you'll notice a pattern that a lot of us can turn around and say, yes, my partner loved the high adrenaline because it's that excitement. And two, it's they're actually feeling something. I don't think they feel a whole hell of a lot. I saw my ex once, and it was because he was left behind from his friends. Like his friends told him, "We can't deal with you anymore," and that upset him because they called him out. They called him out on something, and he wouldn't tell me about it. He wouldn't. He made up this whole thing, but talking to other people later on, I'm like, oh, that's why. That he was he wasn't mad. He was heartbroken. Like, wow. And that was the only time I actually ever saw true human emotion from him.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Would you say that, now branching off of that, would you say that also, the way I'm seeing it is as far as the high adrenaline situations, to me, that also ties right back into the whole control thing, especially with sports. If you're very competitive, is there another competitive aspect to it? Because that's the way I see it, is not necessarily competitive, but the people who are like, yeah, man, I'm winning this. I'm so good. I'm so awesome. To me, that's what I connect with, with the sports thing. Also, it's oh, I'm in control. I'm better than these people. I know I'm superior, that kind of thing.
Right. Well, yes. Yeah. And we do know that they do see themselves as superior human beings, which there is no such thing. We're all in the same field when it comes to that.
Well,
we're all just as superior as the next. But they honestly do feel that, and being in control, that I can't see why that wouldn't be right up there, because they like to be in control of their life, your life, Rob's life, their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think anybody who has money, who has a high status, they always feel like that gets to someone's head. You know, they think, oh, now I got the power I'm seeking, or you know, and that sometimes plays a factor in who you become. You know, it changes somebody because maybe. Yeah, I mean, listen, like, you know, everybody starts off at the bottom and works their way. Well, most people, not everybody. Some people it's inherited. So inherited, that's a different story. But most people, they'll work from the bottom and work to the top. So when you're in the bottom, sometimes you get abused. You get, you know, and I don't mean physically. I mean mentally. You're working on a job and somebody comes up to you, well, I'm better than you, I'm your supervisor. So when you start making your way up, and you get to that level, now you feel like, okay, mofos, now I'm going to show you what you kicked my ass. Now it's my turn to kick your ass. Right. So someone doesn't understand. It plays a lot with the mind. Sometimes some people just had enough. Like, man, I've been so nice. I was so kind. And I was so mistreated. That now I'm going to show these people who the hell's in charge. And I'm going to be just as nasty because they deserve it. It's revenge. It's not always the best way to go about things.
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I was just going to say one expression. I was going to say one expression. It was like, be careful not to step on the toes of the person that you might have to kiss their ass tomorrow. So
that's right.
You know, and I thought that was a great expression. And I was like, wow, that's really true because the person I'm talking to now might not be there. But this person in the future might be the person who is actually becomes above me and says, hey, remember when you were with me, how you treated me? Yeah. Now it's my turn to treat you that way so you know how it felt. And sometimes it's a great feeling. People act psychologically. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but I totally get it. I totally understand.
I totally get it too.
And another thing that I wanted to, I absolutely for sure. And it had me thinking, Rob, when you mentioned that. A lot of these people who will, I guess, assume that they're better than other people and just, act like they are. It's interesting because a lot of times these people in my experience, or just like what I've learned, they kind of have the capabilities to be very good at what they do and are intelligent and capable. But for some reason, it's like they often fail to reach that mark. And that a lot of times, they lie about things. For example, like in my PowerPoint the other day, I was like, Amber's the kind of person who would go and say she goes on this big fishing trip, not catch anything, but then go to the local fish market, buy some huge 300-pound fish and be like, oh, look at me, I bought this or won this or caught it in the ocean or whatever and brag about it. It's just an interesting thing to me because, again, a lot of times these people are actually capable, but for some reason they fail miserably and have to make up lies about it. It's really just interesting to me, not to get too deep into it, but I've noticed that with Amber is she seems like she has a sense of intelligence, but she just uses it in the wrong way.
I agree. But
can you snippet that out and make it a standalone video, like just what Shelby said? Because she nailed it.
What was that?
Yeah, I mean, listen,
about they're capable. That's the thing. Like even my own ex, very, very talented, very capable. Yeah. But he was so focused on how to screw over every single person who he thinks has ever wronged him in life. He was too focused on that he could never get his stuff together to be the success that he was telling everyone he actually was.
Yeah, sometimes
I've talked to people who've married people. I talked to one woman, she married this gentleman, and he said that he was in the Navy to find out he's never once even applied to be in the Navy, but he had the suit, he had the medals, he had he had everything to make her think. And she's like, why would I think anything other? I said, you're absolutely right. Why would you think anything? Gosh. Why would you question that? Why would you question that?
Talk about awkward. Holy hell. I mean, not awkward, but that was a bad word, but that's horrible. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. She's like, what? When she found that out, she's like, so now she's trying to go back to every single conversation she ever had. The poor girl, because that's what we do. When we figure something out, we're like, when did I actually know this? And I didn't want to acknowledge it.
Right.
Like, when was the first time that I should have said, I need to look into this. Like, and we're talking like 20 years for her. I said, you know what? just try not to. That was on him, not on you. It is never our fault if people lie to us because we want to believe what people tell us. It's not, it's guys, it's not our fault if we were lied to and we believed it. We're not human lie detector tests. We're just
we're not. And yeah, and I actually, you got me motivated. I do want to make a video to that regard because I've made videos. Well, my first video I ever made was kind of a psychological video behind Amber Heard. So I'll definitely get back into that because it's an interesting thing. But yeah, that's horrible because there's one thing to, you know, do something stupid and lie about something because you're trying to impress someone and then, you know, come out and be like, look, I'm dumb. I made a mistake, you know, but that's just, holy crap. You said 20 years he lied about it?
He was retired. He was retired.
Wow.
Not retired from the military though, right?
Navy, yeah.
Wait, so he was retired or he said he was?
He said he was. He never even applied. His name, the Navy has never heard of his name before in their lives. Like there was nothing. He didn't even apply to go, but he had everything. I don't know how they do it. If you guys have you seen Dirty John?
I have.
That's exactly how they do it.
Oh
That's exactly how they do it. And they just find people who want to see the best of people. And I don't think that's a bad trait to want to see the best in people. I really don't.
I wanted to just say real quick, guys, in the comments, I saw people say, like, tell me the truth about Les, like, spill the tea. I'm like, I'm kidding. I was not, there's nothing that I'm hiding about her. I'm literally making jokes because I see people going like, I'm like, no, don't try to go scour the internet for her because she doesn't. I know everything there is to know about her though. So, I'm not going to tell you the truth though, because I know all the deep, dark secrets, but you know,
that note, it's like 4:00. And it's been great. I just realized the time, and I have to get going because I got to go get some stuff done and go work.
Yep.
Yeah. So before I head off, you guys want to say something about your channel. If you haven't subscribed, I know why. You got Shelby, you got Spiritual Coaching. You should definitely subscribe. They asked for a link about an open letter in the chat. I don't know if you have it. If you want to do that. But I got to get going. So before I go, make sure I hope we can do this again. I definitely want to. I really love this.
Yeah.
Well, Rob, I'm going to have you on mine. So
I'm
we'll
free
set
Wednesday.
that up.
I'm free Wednesday. So you could let me know.
Oh, am I? Look at that. Look how that works. We'll figure out a time.
All right. So let me get going. Everybody be well. Chat was awesome. Thank you to 214 people that were here today. It's incredible. Incredible.
Thank you, everybody.
You guys are awesome.
Last thing, competition. Don't give up hope. Keep fighting the good fight, people. Keep fighting. All right? Let's not give up here. Okay?
Love you guys.
Thank you.
Love you all. Thank you all for coming. We'll do this again. Have a great night. And thank you for all the super chats, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.